Hey everybody, I'm Kirk from CryptoTradersPro.com, and I'm here to talk to you about some of what else is going on in the BCH hash war. On one side, we have Craig Wright threatening to grind Bitcoin ABC into dust, and then on the other side, we have Bitcoin ABC with partnerships with some of the major exchanges and businesses saying that they're going to follow the ABC chain regardless of hash power and call the ABC chain BCH. So we have this sort of proof of popularity versus proof of work. And there's a huge debate in the community now as to what makes something valid. Is this, as Craig would call, proof of social media, or are we actually going to follow what the white paper says about Nakamoto Consensus? And then also, we're going to ask ourselves, is it destruction of property to destroy another chain's UTXO set? And it gets very complicated there. And I'm not going to comment on that. I want to first stress that if you're only going to watch the first minute of this video, please put your BCH into cold storage. Put it somewhere where you control your private keys and don't do anything with it until the dust has completely settled. And the dust will have settled when either Craig wins, Craig says it's over, or there's utter destruction. And that's hard to say because I think Craig is a little bit egomaniacal, potentially dangerous, but I also still think the SV implementation of the code is the right version of the code. So I'm really torn on this. But I also want to talk about some of the other things that could be at play. SHA-256 is the mining algorithm that both BTC and BCH utilize. And since that hashing power is all the hashing power that exists for both of those versions of Bitcoin, it remains the only hashing power that would work on the split and such as well. So there has to be a war at some point. And I don't mean a war for BCH, I mean a war for Bitcoin itself, because splitting up that hashing power long term is dangerous for the network as a whole. It's dangerous for BTC and BCH. And right now, we're looking at the difficulty adjustment on BTC going down by about 5% on November the 16th, which is essentially when the hard fork drama will kick into full swing. We also see SharkPool joining the fray, mining empty blocks on altcoins and then sending the profits to people contributing hash using BCH. And then we see Craig, nChain, CoinGeek, BMG Pool, SV Pool, the rest of them turning on their hashing power and really coming into fight for BCH. So there's an opportunity potentially to see what some people call Operation Dragonslayer, which would be the BTC BCH flippening. Now, I know this sounds a little bit like a conspiracy theory, and frankly, it is a conspiracy theory at this point. But a conspiracy is just an idea that's held secret by a few people until it becomes public information. And I really think Craig Wright, Calvin Ayre, Jimmy Nguyen, and the other people involved here are looking to make BCH the one and only Bitcoin. Craig has said it infinitely. Calvin has said it infinitely. We need a professional grade Bitcoin to take over everything. No more shit coins, no more anything else, no more crap trading. What they're talking about is creating a one and only Bitcoin. To them, that's Bitcoin SV. But as we look at it, we have to say, do they have the power? They might. Do they have the ability? I think they do. Do they have the guile? I think it's crystal clear that they have the guile to jump in and try to make this flipping happen. So we really could be looking at the foundations, the dominoes being put in place for the initiation of Operation Dragonslayer because of all the different things that are happening at the same time. And if you think about it, if it becomes profitable only to mine Bitcoin SV because BTC is getting beat up and by hash power, alts are getting destroyed by SharkPool. And then let's take this last variable. Let's say Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto. Let's say he has 1 million Bitcoin and 1 million Bitcoin Cash and 1 million Bitcoin Gold. Can he market buy BCH for BTC in huge quantities and crash the price of BTC while raising the price of BCH or BCHSV or whatever it is on the different exchanges? What does that do if all of a sudden the price of BCH skyrockets, the price of BTC plummets, while there's a difficulty adjustment downward on the BTC chain and a massive uptick in hash power that's jumped online to mine the SV chain. What we could be looking at is a perfect storm that creates the flippening. And here's the other beauty of it. If all these other, let's say Ethereum and Litecoin and Monero, and they all die because of what SharkPool is doing and some of the other stuff, then there's all this extra hash power out there that exists to then mine the most valid, most profitable, most powerful, and longest proof of work chain. And if that is BCHSV, then Craig went from having a majority on a minority chain, kicking out all the competitors, and then forcing all the hash power in the world to mine BCHSV, making it Bitcoin, but also making himself not the majority anymore on the real Bitcoin. It makes him a minority on the chain that he essentially sacrificed his own wealth to push into that number one position. Now, this is all my theory. This is sort of a retelling, a reiteration of Operation Dragonslayer and some of the other stuff that I think is going on. But I think it's a plausible occurrence here. This might be what's going on. Craig could be doing all of these things, which then elevates BCH SV to being just Bitcoin, being the number one coin by market cap, hash power, and longest proof of work, but then also taking away his bully pulpit power by forcing all of the other hash to come in. So he'll still have a lot of hash, but he will no longer be that supermajority. So it's a fascinating time. This is my conspiracy theory. Just keep your BCH in cold storage until all this dust settles. But if this is what happens, or if some version of this is what happens, remember, you heard it here first on the Crypto Traders Pro YouTube channel. I'm Kurt Wuckert Jr., and I implore you, please subscribe, please like, please share, and thank you for your time. I will see you soon.